Hello, welcome to today's video. We'll be talking about moving to a new city alone after college. I've been through it and I can share some of my insights and I hope you can find some value from this. It's a very daunting idea to move to a new city where you don't really know anyone, you're not familiar with the environment, all for just a job offer. It's such a scary thought at the age of 22, 23, right after you graduate college. It's probably one of the best things I've ever done. It's definitely scary and it's very intimidating at times. I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna be easy. It's probably going to be pretty difficult to adjust to the new environment and just to be on your own. For myself, I had a job offer that came up in the DC, Maryland area, and I was living in California and Colorado at this time. I was kind of flip-flopping back and forth through school. It was kind of really hard to determine where I was living at this time. And I had this offer came out. It was a really great job offer, and I almost didn't even go because the idea of leaving all this behind, the community that I built for 4 years during college, and I guess leaving my family behind, right? Moving to the East Coast. I've never been out there. I didn't really have any friends or family or that much experience out there, nor did I really have an interest to go to the East Coast. I'm not gonna lie, once you go to California, you go anywhere else, it kind of feels like a downgrade. I might get some hate for that, but that's just my personal experience. Just going out and it's just always 70 degrees and sunny, and there's no winter and there's no snow, and it's just gorgeous like all the time. It's very hard to leave that area. And I was thinking the DC area, I was like, wow, I'm going to like the powerhouse capital of the world. It's on the East Coast. Crime is pretty high out there. And I was like, I'm not sure if I really want to do this. But looking back as I have like moved, I'm currently in the DMV. I'm so happy I did this. And I would say, don't allow fear to hold you back. I think that's the difference between courage and bravery. I wouldn't tell you to be brave, because brave is the denial of your fear. Courage is the acceptance of it. It's just saying, hey, I'm fucking terrified, but I'm choosing to go anyway because I know I'm gonna grow as an individual. It's a very tough decision, but you gotta think of where you'll be in a year after. And I would say give yourself like 6 months to really kind of soak everything in and explore the city. You won't feel comfortable for the first 6 months, and you'll have thoughts of like, holy crap, did I just make the biggest mistake of my life? Did I just move to a city where I don't wanna be in and I'm like all alone and I'm stuck at this job? Oh my God, I'm freaking out. Like these thoughts definitely occur. It happened to me many times, and like there's many times where like before I went to bed I'll just look up at my ceiling and be like, why the fuck am I out here? Like what am I doing out here on the East Coast? I miss my friends, I miss California, and I miss my college community. But the bright side is like you're forced to become an adult. You are forced to become independent and self-sufficient, because if you don't do this, no one else will. You're forced to rely on yourself. And this self-reliance that was developed because of being alone jump-started my career and my personal growth to tremendous amounts that I don't think would have been possible unless I stepped outside of my comfort zone. And I'm not gonna lie, like there will be times where you really severely doubt yourself of like, am I always making the right choice? You have to keep on going, and day by day, the picture gets clearer. And in order to find meaning into your life, you have to keep on going forward. Another thing, how do you meet new people in a new city? Like it's so daunting. Like this is the first adult thing you've ever done. Moving to a new city where you don't really know anyone, but you have to realize there's other people like you. Like you're not special in this idea that you moved to a new city. Actually, a lot of people do, especially in the DC area. Everyone's a transient. No one's actually from DC. Everyone just works and lives here for like 4 years and then they just leave. It's a very transient culture. No one's really here to settle down. Everyone's here to just kind of network, have fun, and they're here on a temporary basis. So I think that's the beauty of DC, is no one is actually from here. So I would say go out to your local bar. I know this is like so difficult going to a bar alone, but it's probably the best way to propel your growth, because you have to realize outside of work, what's the first immediate thought for people who just moved to a new city? Bars. It's a social event. And while it may be daunting when you go to a bar alone, it seems like no one's really there to talk, or they're already in their established group. Everyone deep down and inside wants to meet new people. They want to meet you. So don't allow the fear to hold you back. And if anything, go and approach yourself. Just say that you moved to a new city and you're just trying to meet new people. And most of the people I've met in DC are actually very friendly, because even if they're in a group, that's probably the extent of their friend group, and everyone wants to meet their new friends and find their tribe. It's kind of an inherent value of being human, and that's really awesome. But you have to realize like you can't meet new people unless you step outside of your comfort zone. And how I put it is like, yo, you already moved to a new city alone. Like what do you have to lose? I think rejection is better than regret, because there have been times where I go to a bar alone, I sit and talk to the bartender, and there's people around me that kind of make eye contact and want to talk, but I was terrified. And then you go home and you're just like, holy crap, like I should have talked to that person or that girl. And that regret is so much more painful than like 30 seconds of awkwardness. And even if you get shut down, so what? Like, they won't remember you. Like, that's the funniest thing, is like, you're not that significant in their head. Shrug it off, get a drink, and move on. And if that bar is not for you, there's like 1,000 other bars in the area that you can just go and move. And just keep on trying new things. I wouldn't try to like establish yourself. I would just say be an adventurer. Treat it as like a awesome vacation, like a sabbatical. Go out and just do really cool things. Go to museums. Find new interests and hobbies that you've never really wanted to. It's funny, my personal experience is like, I never was into go-karting in my life, and it's such a random thing. I've always wanted to do it. And after watching like F1, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the go-kart track. And I actually met one of my best friends out there, just on a random day. He was also there alone. He wasn't there with anyone. We just chatted, found similar hobbies, and the rest is history. He's like a really good friend that we hang out all the time, and I'm really, really grateful for that. I think the best part of it is you're an inspiration to others, because some of your friends might have like job opportunities that come up in new places, and they might be scared to like go adventure on their own. They're like, hey, Min went out and did this. That gives me the motivation to go do it, because if he was able to, why can't I? And maybe I can bounce ideas off him and see if he has any advice. Are you gonna be the pioneer of your friend group and do the thing that scares you the most but will benefit you the most? Or are you gonna wait until someone else in your friend group does it and then you follow their lead? I think take initiative of your own life and go out and achieve the things you want to. I don't think you need to wait for someone to give you permission or until you get older. You have to realize maturity comes with age, yes, but it mainly comes from experience. Even if you're 22, 23, and you have the most intense, scary year, I would say you are maturing faster than the typical 22-year-old. And if anything, you might be at like a 25, 27 mental age. And I think that's the beauty of it. You are always growing, but in order to do it, you have to step outside your comfort zone. And I want to say it's so much easier said than done. Stepping out of your comfort zone is different for everyone. So if something looks easy for you, it might be hard for someone else. But when you're actually in the situation alone, it's terrifying. I would say fear is something that's always on your mind when you move to a new city. But the thing is, you get familiar with it. Fear becomes like your best friend, and eventually you welcome it. Hey, like, you've been here. It's like an invited guest. Like, hey, if you're gonna be here, you might as well drink a beer with me. Fear, you might as well just be my homie. That's the strangest thing. Fear becomes so familiar, it's no longer fear. It's comfort, it's familiarity. And that's the craziest idea I ever had. Then one day you wake up and you're like, I'm no longer scared. And I'm so happy I decided to move to the East Coast or to this new location for work. Because I look back, after a whole year, I've been out here in the Maryland, DC area for 12 months, almost 12 months. And man, I'm looking back at how much I've grown, and I don't think it would have been possible if I stayed in my hometown of Denver or if I stayed in my college community of California. I don't think it's possible, because if I moved to California, I always had like a ton of mutual friends in San Francisco or LA or even in Denver. I just had someone I could reach out to and network and be like, hey, let's just be friends because I already know you. Instead of going out and meeting people who had similar interests like me despite their age. And I think it's so awesome, because some of my friends now, I'm not gonna lie, they're significantly older than me. They're not 22, 23, and that would have been the crowd that I would have hung out with if I stayed in California and Colorado. Some of my friends are 27, 28, some are even 36, and that's super cool because they have imparted so much wisdom on me that like I can prevent myself from making the mistakes they did. Some of those videos come up all over the place, but like if you're scared to move to a new city for a new job offer, go ahead and do it, because I think if you look at the bigger picture and as time goes on, you don't want to live with regret, because you don't want to wake up at 30 or 40 and be like, damn, I should have moved to a new city. Because when opportunities present itself, you have to go and take them, because they're not going to be around forever. And if you miss out on it, regret sucks. And if you move to a new city and you actually don't like it, you don't have to stay out there. Give yourself 6 months to a year, and if you fucking hate it, move back. But at least you can say, I did it, done that. And now I don't have any doubt of whether I should stay in this state or move to the new location. You eliminate all doubt. And I think that's the greatest thing, is to realize I'm doing the right thing. I can't imagine myself anywhere else but here. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more content like this. Namaste.